Hello and welcome to a little plant haul. Believe it or not, I do tend to get quite a few questions about like what plants I've gotten recently and also like how to care for those specific plants. So I figured I would go ahead and take the opportunity to make something like that. So two of the plants are the same, however I bought them because they look very interesting. And then I have some tissue cultures and then another plant that I have been kind of waiting for on my wish list. So to start off with the basic ones, they all kind of need water, so just keep that in mind. They might look kind of limp. So this is a Philodendron Brazil. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of plants that look like this, but they have like different names, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is stating Brazil. So I really love these plants because they trail. I have several of them, and when I see some that are just like pretty like this and have like nice long thick vines, I like have to get them. I have a greenhouse. It's not set up in like the colder months, but it will be in the warmer months, and these are like perfect. They love being out there. They usually get like so big, and you can see these have like really like massive leaves. Like I've never seen one of these with like leaves this big, and the vines are thick. Like, she's really cute. There is some dead leaves on here that I have to clean up. So these plants do prefer like indirect light, but love being in a window. I find they do best in a window. They don't need like additional humidity, but they won't complain if they have it, and usually I water them when the pot starts to feel light. Or you can stick a moisture meter in there, and usually if it comes out dry, I'll water it, just because I find if I give them too much water when the soil is still damp, they start to kind of drop leaves and stuff. So ultimately, if it feels empty, which you can learn over time by just like feeling after you do a water and like before, then go ahead and water it. Usually for me, that means that I water them typically like once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a month. And then if you find that you have to water them a lot more than that, then it's time for a repot. But yeah, I love these guys. They're so cute. Oh, I actually have one up here if you can see it. You actually can't, but I'll show you at the end. So that's that one. Let me put her over here. And then next up, so this one says it's the same, and it very well could be, but I'm just going to show you some differences, okay? This one definitely does not need a water. It's like still really hefty. This looks like, I swear, a mix of like several philodendrons, like heartleaf ones, but it's like literally so cool and so pretty, so I had to have it, obviously. So we have the standard green heartleaf philodendron leaves. And then we have these ones in here that are like long and skinny. And then we have the standard like Brazil pattern here. But then when you start coming down, you have more long and skinny leaves. So if anyone wants to tell me what happened here, I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard to get you a good, like, oh, there we go. Because I honestly don't know. And then we have, like, leaves like this. So, like, I feel like they had to have mixed plants in here. But regardless, I thought that, oops, I just broke an entire leaf off. It's okay. It'll grow back. I just thought that this was, like, so intriguing. And I haven't gotten to untangling her fully yet to see the full extent of what's going on. But yeah, so I assume same care because I think there are still philodendrons. These guys also love to like vine and trail, obviously. And what I mean by that is if you have the ability to like set up clips on your wall to let them climb through, they'll take off. From my experience, you can also put it on a pole if you really want to, but for the viners, I kind of just like to let them like go crazy and do what they want. And then, yeah, if you get to a point where you notice that the leaves are starting to come in really small, cut it back It could just be that the plant doesn't have enough resources, like maybe it needs a repot, some new soil, maybe some fertilizer, or maybe more light. More light seems to be a big thing for a lot of these guys. And then, next up, this one needs water really badly, and I'm going to do that here shortly. This is another heartleaf philodendron, but it is the variated version. There's a lot of different variations, but this one specifically, it doesn't say. Alright, well, she's beautiful. I've been looking for this plant for a good while. I do have a tiny one of it, and I love her, but I wanted a bigger one. And you can see, like, hopefully, maybe, all of these leaves are like so pretty. And when they come out with new leaves, the leaves are like red at first, which I think is really cool. You can kind of see it here. The leaf is maturing though, but it has like a red hue to it. But yeah, and they like the long skinny leaves again. I've been looking for this plant for a long time, and I'm happy I finally found it. And then finally, I have 2 tissue cultures. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Okay. So I have a Monstera creme brulee and a Monstera bulbasaur. So this one looks like it's kind of low variegation, which I think is why it was so cheap. And this one I did have before, but I don't know, like the leaves rotted off and then the entire thing rotted, so I must have done something wrong, but to be fair, it had started rotting in the bag, which means that something else probably happened to it. But here is, hopefully you can see it, the Bulbasaur. If you can't, I'll be making another video showing it off anyway. And then the creme brulee. So I'm gonna make a whole thing on tissue cultures, but basically these things will require special care when you start with the tissue culture. But when they are fuller grown, I have some Monsteras in here. You will basically water them when they're dry. Like you want them to be dry, and you're gonna water them from the bottom. So that way they can soak up the water. If you overwater them, they will struggle. And they do also really love having something to support them. You don't have to have a moss pole. You can just use a stick. Like they just like to have like something against their back, because Monsteras are one of those plants that do have a back and a front side. So pretty easy once you get them out. And then yeah, so if you want to know more about these, the video is probably already posted. Probably also next to this one on my page. Yeah, so thanks for watching my plant haul. I guess let me know which of these you liked best, or if you have a favorite plant, whatever you want to talk about.